The ice storm has rolled in. You could see it displayed along the magnificent Cascade Mountain Range. It definitely fulfilled its threats. Flat sheets of ice, definitely no fluffy, nice, fun snow. Cold, perky, if you know what I mean. Kids have had snow days. I've been working from home. I like to try to keep the ambiance nice and cozy, especially when the kids are cooped up and it's way too cold to enjoy going outdoors. Got to think of anything and everything that you can do to entertain all of ourselves. My sunroom is always that special place. On my Instagram channel, I showcase a lot of the little personal things in my life, sharing moments that happen in this very room. This is my sunroom, it's my altar room, it's where all my books and knowledge are centered in. It's where people can sit and read and relax. There's a fountain going, there's a little movable TV that's in there as well. It's just a heavenly place that you can kind of feel the ambiance and you can feel just that warm feeling of comfort. The whole house is my pretty much safe place, and so I make sure to take care of it. I think it's a priority in our lives to take care of the place that we dwell in. Don't let it get in disarray, because that will reflect on ourselves. My kratom trees are just flourishing in our home, and they're just a beautiful centerpiece in our living room. So many medicinal purposes to those trees, which you already know I'm all on top of. I have had to do some remote work during this ice storm. One thing about me is I always travel around constantly with one earpiece in my ear. I'm able to know exactly what's going on around me, like my husband doing another project, even out in the freaking 15-degree weather. The guy never stops. Always hustling, always doing stuff and projects for our family. Can't fault him for that. Kids are outside playing in this freaking ice storm. I tried to keep them in as much as I could, as long as I could, but imagine trying to keep kids indoors and cooped up for days. Yeah, didn't last. So I made sure that they covered up as much as possible. Forced the little one to wear gloves, which you pretty much scream bloody murder, but I didn't care. So I am working on my phone. Of course, I do a lot of work on my phone, so I'll just sit in here, do that, read a book, do something to just relax. I put a YouTube channel on there with music in the background. You can see on that screen. It's just, I love it. It's great ambiance. One trick about me, about constantly, put dry shampoo. I need dry shampoo. I have really oily hair. So that is my secret, like a beauty tip of the day. You're welcome. Now I'm finally going to come out and say something. I'm going to address those hard nipples. It's not something I do on purpose. It's what they are. I cannot ever soften them up. And when I do notice it, I am annoyed with myself, annoyed with them, and I try to flatten them out. But I'm going to say that once and for all. It's not done on purpose, okay, people? Okay, haters? You know what I found out recently, though? That there's a bra by Kim Kardashian, who actually invented a bra that shows hard nipples. Here, check it out.
That shit is sold out. Like, what the fuck? So, I have no idea that I've been fucking trending for many, many years. It's just, and usually your nipples are constantly hard like that. They're usually pierced. So, mine aren't. Like, God, no, never ever. That's just excruciating pain. I know people who've had them done, and it's bad. But mine are all the time, and it's so frustrating because people think I do it on purpose, or I don't know, but it's annoying. So the fact that someone actually created a bra whose purpose is to show those off, it reminds me in high school, I always had a fat ass, all growing up. And I used to get made fun of back in the day. This is like 90s people. People would make fun of me and call me fat because my ass was huge. Little did I know it would be fucking trending and coveted years later. So I have had all of the coveted things my whole life. It's amazing. You know, at the time though, it wasn't a thing to get. So after the fact, I don't know, I'm just that freaking awesome, apparently. It helps so with my self-esteem, but it didn't back then. Back then I would get made fun of by these stick figure girls. If only I could like track those people. Have you ever wanted to call up some old school friends or something and like rub shit in their face? Like, haha, look at me now. Unless you're like a singer, you really can't do that, like Taylor Swift or something, like suck it to ya. So we don't get that opportunity as us normal people that aren't successful and famous. Speaking of, I had said that in one of my intro videos. I'm like, I know, welcome to my channel. My name's Shauna Kaufman, or Shauna K, and you know, I'm YouTube famous. And this person literally took me serious. Like, they left a comment saying, wow, you had me there, and I never usually comment, but the minute you said that, ew, like, I'm not gonna watch it anymore. Like, really? You really took me serious? Learn how to chillax and take a joke. Learn sarcasm and how to recognize it, or you're doomed. I just can imagine how happy this girl's life is. I'm sure it's like, people have to walk on eggshells around people like that. Ugh. But no, I am very sarcastic in all my videos. And those of you who know me know that. Like, don't always take me serious. I say a lot of BS just for fun, or to make fun of other people that are serious when they say stuff like that. It has been icy and stormy all over the nation, but especially where I'm at, the Pacific Northwest, there's this huge ice storm that's come in from the Atlantic, really chill, really cold, and it's just icing everything up around here. So we've been very much inside. It's like so cold you need to wear a face mask. It's that cold. So trying to think of things to do, entertain ourselves, me and the kids. I've been working from home, the kids have been out of school. We have another day of this before the weather looks like it might turn for the better and start warming things up. But it's really, the hustle and grind is real. I've been nonstop working. The nice thing I could do that from home. The nice thing, pretty much everything I do is based on a computer. It's really handy. And the business that I own, I am still trying to keep surviving. You know, it's the first time I'm actually verbalizing it, but it has been hard to keep my business running. I've had it for many, many years. It's always been an on the side type thing, freelancing. It's never been something that has profited me enough to survive without having to have a day job, right? And then when I moved into the public sector and started working for the local government, that just, it's a good investment to have. People that have government jobs, it's a great second retirement that you can build into. You can retire early. There's just so many perks to having a government job that if you commit to will be very good for you when you're older. So even if my business did get better at certain points when it did, I still didn't quit my day job because of the benefits, you know, a pension later on in life and all that stuff. So I still kept it. I still climb the ladder in the corporate world. Some of you don't know, but I'm a chief of staff type position in a local city here. So it has been, it's been a good career journey for me. But at the same time, I always kept my business going on the side. You know, I have a few steady clients that are always, you know, returning, that have me on like a subscription where they use me for graphic design work or editing their website and stuff like that. And I've always kept that going. But there are times, especially in the recession period and COVID, where it was just everybody was working from home. Everyone was trying to figure out something that they could do at home. So the market was so thick, and people, I'll do it for free. I'll do it for $10. I just need the extra money, or I need something to do. So the work got really hard for my business side of things. And then of course people over in India or overseas will do my kind of work for dirt cheap. You know, the downside is you can't always communicate clearly what your needs are, what you want. But the pro is that you can get some really good design work for dirt cheap, because to them the money goes further in another country like that. So it's been rough. There's been really stagnant periods where I didn't know if I was just going to just cancel my business, close it out. I've made some bad business calls, as we all do. If you've owned a business, then you understand that those periods do happen. And I've had to dig myself up out of those. So it happens, but I'm trying to keep it going. I do have a good steady system in place right now, but I have a few that I really want to cement deals with. And at this point I could quit my day job and survive at the same amount, but it's good to have double, right? It's good to have that extra income, especially with retirement, especially with emergencies. My husband and I have been thinking about pulling our kids out of the public school system and putting them in a private school, which costs a lot of money. So there's that. But it would be good to keep those two big incomes coming in to put my kids in private school. The world ain't getting better, and so it's just something that we've been thinking about. Our daughter is older, sophomore in high school, so she's at like a point where she's like, no, I want to graduate with my class, with my friends, so she doesn't want to go to private school. So we're thinking about our two sons at this point then to see how this will go. But that extra money could be used simply for private school. Literally, it's so expensive, it probably will all go to that. There's a couple of kratom vendors that I've helped build their brand, their website. That's something I used to do religiously back in the day, trying to help the image of kratom, make kratom look good. So I would do it for dirt cheap. Sometimes I would do it for free, depending on the vendor, just so I could create a good image for kratom, which I love. I'm a huge supporter of it. So I still do that on the side for a discount if you're a kratom vendor and you don't have a huge budget. I always give those people major discounts because it's just an advocacy, a passion that I have. And any way I could support kratom and the image of kratom, I will always do that if my time permits. So there's a couple of new ones that I've been assisting with lately that I'm really happy with. The design turned out really nice, what they were envisioning. They had a good vision, which came together beautifully. And there are some that still need help running a website, adding products routinely, and that's what I do. So it's been nice to do that with a few kratom vendors, again, routinely, and just help in any way I can. A lot of them don't understand when they're new to the scene how difficult it is to market this tea, because you can't just do paid woo marketing like everyone else. That's how they can build traffic and bring in income. And because they're able to do paid advertisement, you can't do that with kratom, so it's going to be slower. A lot of vendors just don't understand that. They just have this exaggerated expectations in the wrong field of products. You just can't do that with high-risk products, which include kratom, CBD, sex toys. I think also runs with a high-risk product. It's just not something you can easily market. So a lot of vendors need a reality check when I work with the new ones that are pretty much new to the scene. But it's nice lately that the people I have worked with are pretty good people, and they understand it. They have a vision, they have a passion for it. It's not just they're trying to be a pop-up vendor. There are tons of those out there, but the ones I've been working with lately are not, so it's nice. Of course, fitness, weight loss, that has been priority. I did a video recently about how I lost the weight and continue down that process. I still have a few more pounds to lose. I talk about how, physically it's difficult to lose weight when you have a chronic illness and a disease, and your body limits you like, it wouldn't do an average person. So when you have chronic pain and you can't move and be as, hard working as a lot of these gym rats will try to push, what do you do to lose weight? So I talked about that. It was really nice. A lot of good feedback from people. It really came down to resisting the temptation to eat or munch or just get the munchies, right? Especially with people that take natural alternatives for pain, because some of those natural alternatives give you the munchies. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it's hard if you want to lose weight, but you need like CBD Delta products. It's like hard because that will make you want to pig out. So there's a lot that I've learned personally that I've had to adapt and change and alter, and it really is just your willpower. That's what it came down to. I needed to resist eating sugar or doing things, eating out of boredom or stress. I wish I was one of those women that don't want to eat when they're stressed or angry. Me, I'm like, I get the munchies when I'm stressed or angry. Does not help. But yeah, I talk about the Ozempic craze and how I think that is a great option to have for people like us with chronic illness, people that can't lose weight the normal way, that can't work out the normal way. Ozempic is wonderful for people who actually need it, right? Even obese people that don't have any other underlying issues, I don't think they should use Ozempic. I think it should be reserved for people with illnesses, diabetes, sicknesses that can't just lose the weight like the average person can. What I basically think it is just not eating. That's pretty much what happens when these people take Ozempic. They just don't eat. That's how they lose the weight. That's why doctors will remind them to work out, remind them to stretch, do Pilates, do something that will keep their skin toned up, because they will lose weight quickly, leaving so at a faster pace that your skin can't keep up with this pace. So then you get loose skin or you lose muscle, and it's not only just losing fat, but it's losing muscle your body needs. So it's pretty much just not eating though. But doing that, which the equivalent to that is intermittent fasting, when you fast, right? It's pretty much the Ozempic diet, which is what I did. I just did not eat as much, and I go in more detail in the video if you were interested in that. But that has been something that I'm kind of in the tail end of that journey. Pretty much now I've got it all down pat. I'm familiar with my body and what it needs to lose weight, when it needs to, what it needs to do in order to do it the best way possible for someone that has a disease. So if you guys are interested in looking and wanting more of those videos from me, let me know. Put it in the comments what you would really want to see, if that would be a series of videos that you would find interesting or benefit from. I'm trying to continue to build up my YouTube channel. It's been slow at certain points based on your life events, but it seems to me that a lot of you guys really just like me as a person, which is so flattering, and I appreciate that. It's like I could talk about and review these things, but ultimately it comes down to people just like who I am, which is awesome, and I truly appreciate that. You're sure you want to feedback on products and all that, but you actually like to see what I do and what my life is, and which I think is so cool. And that truly, sometimes brings me to tears, how many people find what I have to say, even my life, so important to them. Like, it brings them joy and happiness, and they look forward to cuddling up on their couch with a cup of tea and watching my latest video about whatever I have to say. It's very, I think, wonderful. Very cute, very something that I appreciate and don't take for granted. I think I have a responsibility to so many of you who've known me for over 10 years. There's been times where I just wanted to disappear, but I didn't, because of those people who I've help change their life, which is amazing and humbling. Introducing alternative medicine to people that didn't know about it, and maybe they thought bad about it because they didn't really know. So I help them kind of change that taboo, right? Which is what I always do. I try to do that in my channels. It's changing the stigma and making things that look ghetto or trashy or whatever, and giving them a different perspective to look through the lens differently with more humility, right? Because a lot of people are arrogant, especially people from my demographic and history and pedigree. You know, a lot of my fellow people in my kind of communities look down upon people that take marijuana, create whatever, or think these things, or astrology, for example. I grew up in the church, so there's so many Christians that are just ignorant to the history of that, and they refuse to look at it any differently because of just their tradition and routine and the way it always has been. And I like to bring these things to the table and say, hey, what if we got it wrong? What if there's a little different perspective that you didn't think about that used to be there? Like maybe the truth is warped. Things happen like that. Translations were wrong at the time. So throughout society's advancement, they've realized that, hey, maybe, or this wasn't interpreted correctly, or this was left out. I'll do more of those videos too, and different kind of series of things where I like to talk about Christianity and how I view it. So I think those are also important to me. It's who I am, so those will be around. And a lot of people that just don't give a shit about that can just ignore those videos. But I like to do that as well because it helps educate people. And I would have wished someone was out there in my situation talking about these things, because I've had to find out these things much later in life, which sucks, but perhaps I wasn't mentally able to comprehend it earlier, and that's just the way God planned it. Well, I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching, guys, and feel free to leave comments, suggestions, feedback, whatever. I always leave my information down in the description notes. And until next time, see you later, Roland. Say bye-bye.